Right? So let me tell you what SEO is all about. Right? So let me share my screen. So as all of you can see here, so there are a lot of things actually. SEO is again, if you see, I will say it is not only restricted to digital marketing. It is an overall tool which works basically on upping my business in many things actually. So what you're seeing in this diagram or in the flowchart, if you're seeing here, there are certain aspects in SEO actually. So there are certain main points that you need to do in SEO. The first one is keyword research. I think yesterday we also seen a tool called Google Keyword Planner, like AdWord Keyword Planner. So where we have really understood that what are ads or whatever ranking or whatever postings we have, anything is actually based on the keywords that we are actually including in the content. So when your content has the relevant keywords, which is searched by people, right? Which is searched by people. So we need to understand what people are searching. I think I don't know how many of you remember that we also shown you about Google Trends, right? So I told you about a tool called Google Trends, which also gives me what is trending in the Google basically, right? And there's another very easy technique. It's not like a very tough one. It's a very easy technique actually. This is how we also do find out SEO because when I was working in a company and my company really wanted to do branding I was working in the education sector. So what happened was we wanted to do marketing. So we what we wanted was I told my team to find out what people search basically on can you just find out. Okay. No, we didn't have access to keyword planners and all that and all that. So what we did was we just went to Google and did. We didn't go anywhere. So we just go to the home button. We went to the Google search and we started searching. For example, we were running a HR program, so we searched like this HR courses. And when I just type HR courses, this is what the keyword tags which is coming from. So this is how we started when I started my digital marketing and all that. So to get an understanding of my keywords and all, I started doing this research. Sometimes it works actually in Instagram and Facebook or in Google. When you really wanted the term or when you wanted to find out what term basically people are using or exactly what kind of terms they're using basically, you can just type it. You don't need to have anything basically. This is I didn't even complete it, right? So these are the restaurant. Just by typing restaurant, these are the things that is almost searched. Now all these searches works with my precise location. For example, I am in Ananagar, so my precise location is also taken into consideration, and a lot of parameters actually taken into consideration here. So just by understanding this, initially you can start working on these keywords. Now, what is the idea? The first step towards SEO was the keyword research, right? So when you are doing a keyword research, right? Yes, yeah, yes, definitely yes. SEO works with everything. SEO works with everything. SEO is not only restricted to words, as Payal was saying, it is restricted to anything. Video, advertisements, your whatever content that you're sharing online, everything is actually connected to that, right? So instead of probably trying it of a professional keyword tool and all this, initially what you can do is take your business out, whatever business you're running in, and whatever target that you want to have, start researching these keywords. And these keywords can be given to the SEO person who is managing your account. So this is what you're seeing here as the first one. And then there are link building, right? So what is link building basically is when you are when you wanted people to know about your company or when you wanted to know about their what your company is all about and you wanted people to land in your FB page or you wanted people to land in your Insta or a website or whatever it is, no? You should always share the links. Don't make people to search for information because in 2020 we are moving in an era where people don't like to search, right? Now, search is again a very easy thing. Only doing a search is very easy, but people really don't want that also to be. They don't want to go and type it in Google and all. They wanted a ready-made content or a ready-made link, which is automatically redirects to me to what information I want. Right now, getting the link is one task. So It might sound like an easy task also, but next very important thing is sitemap optimization. For example, when people land in your site, right? When people land in your website, that I feel in digital marketing, it is your first step towards success. And people are actually reaching your website, or when you are actually giving them a link, and it is redirecting you in probably in a site, and that site is mobile friendly, right? There are a lot of other parameters. So when you are having a company site, when you are actually doing it, or when you're creating one, make sure that your company site is completely optimized to website or mobile viewing. Because 90% of my audience are using only mobile phone these days. The 10% are using desktops. So there is no need of concentration on desktops on tablets. But instead of that, you have to concentrate more on the mobile viewing. If my mobile viewing experience is more, then I have my SEO, which is very strong. And of course, you have another tool, which I will probably share it across after dealing with this, which tells you how your site is performing. Again, it's a Google tool basically, right? Now, again, we have software development. Right now, we have in SEO. Previously, what happened was it was in HTML format, but right now it is more of WordPress, right? So it's about WordPress where we create sites using WordPress, which is more fluid, more easy to access. And one of the very important thing is when you're developing a website in WordPress, you can also do changes, which means as you don't need to have an understanding of codes and all, because WordPress will help you to build websites without codes. It's just like I think yesterday also we have seen Google websites, right? So it's very similar to that, but it's really advanced only. But you don't need to have codes and all. You can just drag and drop, and you can create your own website also. But that is again an upcoming thing which we have, right? So like this, if you see, we have website design, we have feedback mechanism, we do have a strategy on how SEO is working, how that optimization is working basically. And of course, a very important thing in SEO these days, which is very like which is linked here also, is social network. My site, my website should have social networks of my company. If my website is not having social networks, then I will feel that okay, this company is there. Probably they would have created a website, but not like they didn't concentrate more on the marketing perspective, or they're not much worried about the lead generation and all that. That's what I feel, right? The company is not more inclined towards branding it even more or positioning it in a better way, right? So social networking or social media plays a very, very vital role, and content, right? So one of the very important things, there are a lot of things actually. One of the very important things that I would like to share with you is your website. Your website, people, there is a myth, whether my website should be like one page or my website should have multiple pages and all. But for Google algorithm works, no? For Google algorithm to work perfectly or to Google rank you better, you should have minimum 1,000 words in your website. A little long website is always good in ranking, right? But when I say 1,000 words, it is also it is a minimum one. You can go for more, but minimum they're saying it's like 1,000 words if you have in your website. It'll be easy for Google to track you or pull you out from the other people or other competitors and all. So when you're preparing content for a website, nowadays when previously like 5 years, 3 years back and all, when we wanted to write website content and all, what happened was the main thing what we will concentrate is we wanted our language to be there, our company owned language, jargons, technical specifications, or maybe something which is very, very inclined towards a company. But now, what is happening in the last 2, 3 years or couple of years, what we are having is because of social media coming in and because of SEO gaining more popularity, we are writing content in what people search because we are not worried about jargons, we are not worried about what technical specifications we are including. That is also important. That is also important. But more important thing is you should have your keywords. That is more important. If you don't have your keywords in your website, then there's no need of website actually. You just can keep your website. And every time when people ask your website, you should also share the links in WhatsApps. But if you want your website to come automatically in Google, then you should have a proper keyword content. Then you have this traffic monitoring. Right? This is what I was saying about what is this traffic monitoring. Now, how to do traffic monitoring? Of course, in WordPress and HTML and all, if you have, you do have an inbuilt tracking monitor, which will give you how much people have visited, how many people have stayed, how long they have stayed in your website. So all this, there are a lot of statistics which will tell you. But there is also another tool which is there in Google, which will give you an exact traffic on how many people have really visited. Right? So I will show you that link basically. It's called Google Analytics. Many of you would have heard this basically. This is how it looks. So this is the analytics dashboard. I think some of you asked me questions also, right? So for example, if I have a blog or if I have a YouTube channel or if I have a website, now how to track people, like how many people are seeing it, how many people are retaining it. Then this is the website or this is a tool that you can use. Google Analytics will completely analyze the traffic on any URLs. It can be a blog, it can be a channel, it can be a website, anything, but it should have an internet connectivity. It should be somewhere online. It should be somewhere. It should be some of the published content. It should be there in the Google live. If you have live URLs, what you can do is you can add it here and track it. Right? That's what you're seeing here, right? So I have included my channels basically on how this is working, and you can do it anytime. So you have, if you check for real time here, you can get the real time data here. Just like right now, how many people are searching my pages? Right now, how many people are seeing it across? What are my different traffic sources to understand basically on how this is working, right? So all this you can analyze it, and you can also have audience.
Where we should link our pages.
Okay,
Yeah.
just a minute, I'll show you. Just a minute, I'm just okay. Any questions so far? Meanwhile, I'll just check it across. Any questions? Okay. Okay, so you just have to go to analytics page. Okay, this is the home dashboard. You just have to in the top bottom left corner, you will see a setting button like this. You just have to go to this, and here if you see, this is the where you add content. So see here, you have three types of analytics, which I told you. One thing is these is where you have probably like any like you have any YouTube channels or something you can add here. If you have a website and all this, you can add here actually. Here it is the website link that you have. You can add the website that you have. This is where you will, when you click here, no? So I will repeat it again. You just have to go to the settings, okay, in the top left bottom, and here you have this option. You just have to create a view. You can add it. So whatever you're seeing here, all this can be tracked. You can track your channel. You can track your ads. See here, you have also ads here. You can also check your ad also in analytics. Anyway, Google and AdWords also has a separate dashboard. If you want in a more real-time data, you can include it here also. That also is possible. You can do that as well here. And of course, the channels, blogs, whatever you have, you can track it here. It will give you the real-time data access. So this Google Analytics is completely integrated with the SEO of Google algorithm. So it will give you an exact traffic on how people are doing it. And this really helps you on finding out keywords or finding out what is the type of audience who are actually seeing your website. And one very important thing about this Google Analytics data, a very important data which is related to website is what is the retention rate in the website? Like how many minutes they are retained in the website. That also can be tracked. Or which is the pages they are spending more time. That also can be tracked. Which pages they're going in and they're coming out immediately. Like they are just seeing it and they're coming out. So all this can be even tracked actually. So that actually helps you that that particular content in the website is not like very appropriate to the audience because many people are not seeing that page. So then what you can do is either you can reformat the page, edit some content, or you can delete it maybe because there is the user getting bounced out of it. So all this analytics, no, all this can be previously what happened was you need to be dependent on your website vendor. Right? The website vendor only will give you all this data, right? Because he will has his own dashboard, he will send you data frequently. You have to follow up with them and all that. But right now, it's your handy. You can just go here, Google Analytics, your Gmail account, open it, and add your site, and you will be able to track. That's what I do. So that is how it works. Yes, yes, definitely yes. You can add. You can add. So whatever, and as I told you, it doesn't have any restrictions. You can add channels, you can add FB pages, you can add like Insta and all that. Whatever you have, whatever you wanted to track, whichever account you wanted to track, or whichever activity you wanted to track, definitely you can do that. Not a problem. This is again the Google Analytics tool, which will help you probably in this traffic monitoring. Right? And of course, it also shows you the ranking also. Google Analytics will tell you that this particular keyword, when a person is searching, at what rank your content is coming. It's like first or second or third. So it will show you that also, right? Because if in Google, what do you think is the average? If, for example, when people are searching something, how many links maximum a person will click? What is your idea? When you're searching something or when you are searching something, what is the maximum page links that you will click? Or how many pages you will go actually Google search? Any thoughts? You can connect you also maybe if you are searching also. How many page links you will check or how many pages you will go in. Okay, 10, 2 or 3. Okay, yes, max, okay, max. But according to the global average, no, according to digital marketing, the global average is not more than 2, not more than 2. Only the first page and top 3 links. Whichever is coming is top 3 links. That is what is mostly seen when you are actually working in Google, when you wanted to search something. This is how people search actually. First page, top 3 links. Very rare second page, not more than that. So when you're doing an SEO, when you're spending, you see the reliability. Even if your website is coming on the 4th place or maybe 5th place also, your website is not being clicked. That is what the statistics shows. That is what your digital marketing efforts will show actually. You could have done a very good effort, but the probability is it is a very good site, but very good site. Design wise, it's very perfect. It's very supreme. All this matters, but But finally, what matters is whether it's coming in my top 3 place. That's the question. That's what the idea. So you should also do a lot of research and a lot of spending in actually this SEO activity. Of course, we are not covering it in depth because SEO is not completely on digital marketing. Yes, yes, of course, yes. Right? So SEO is not completely contained with digital marketing. If you see here, it includes the digital marketing aspect also. It also includes the software development aspect also. So it is actually a collective effort. It's actually a lot of things are there for SEO to work. Just by putting a keyword or just by having an optimized site doesn't matter. It has a lot of process involved in it. So probably what I will suggest is maybe initially what you can do is you can hire a digital marketing consultant, or maybe nowadays all digital marketing contents are doing SEOs, because without SEO digital marketing doesn't work. And there is no need of actually doing a digital marketing also. We don't have a proper SEO. So that is what the idea is, right? This is what is overall about SEO, right? Search engine optimization. So are we clear with this? Any clarifications? Are we clear? Any doubts? We are open to questions. Oh, great. What about others? Is everyone clear with that? Is everyone clear about SEO? Any clarifications you have? Is like any doubts you have?
Alex, Harish here.
Tell me, Harish. Tell.
Alex, if I maintain a blog in WordPress,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it possible to do a search engine optimization by including the keywords? Will I be able to include keywords in that?
Yes, yes. Actually, for example, if you're talking about a blog, if you're talking about a blog for that concern, because blog also has content. When you're writing a blog itself, it has its own contents, and also there is an option called tags in blogs. Right? Probably I will show you, or maybe if using it also. Actually, this is the WordPress site. I think many of you would have seen this actually, but just showing you this. This is where you can actually start a blog or websites. This is where you can log in. You can have a Gmail account also, not a problem. You can log in with that also. I think all of you would have seen me in the last 3-4 days. I would have always had two-step verification. Again, very important thing in digital marketing is always you should have two-step verification, whatever account that you're using. Okay? Please ensure that. Google Blogs are there actually, but what I feel is it is not like very. Doesn't have much of the look and feel. The look and feel or the user friendly one is not like much. I've used Google Blogs also, but it didn't work properly. So it's a different call altogether. But WordPress works very fine. I have been using WordPress for a couple of months, so it's good. It has its fluidity and the look and feel of the WordPress is really good. That's what many people actually go for WordPress. Yes. For example, the question which Harish was asking is like about blog contents. For example, when you're writing content, for example, here you go and write a blog. So when you're writing a blog here, when you're actually doing a posting and all that, what happens is there is an option called, if you see here, or if you can see this. So there is a tag, there is a category, and all that, right? Another good thing about if you talk about blogging is it also connects with your social medias. And this is where it happens actually. Blogs works vice versa actually. Blogs is connected with social medias, and social medias can bring your traffic inside. All this is possible in blog writing, but blog writing is altogether a different topic. But I just want to show you how this works actually. When you're writing a blog, when you wanted your blog to have more traffic, what my suggestion is, you should use more of tags here. That's again an important thing, and your entire content. If you have the relevant trending contents in your blog itself, when you're writing that blog itself, if you're having that content, then well and good. It will have more of traffic which is generated automatically. That is again the thing here. But as in India, what I have seen is more people are very inclined towards tech blogs or general blogging. But blogging overall, in other countries, blogging are very supreme. Actually, there is a professional blogger who does it. Blogging as a career or not, there are many people who have taken blogging as a career, and they make money, almost millions of money from blogging. But here, of course, blogs are okay, but people are not reading it that much. But it is there. But many people are not reading. I think in this group also, many people do have blogs, and some of you have asked me this question also, right? Sir, I'm not getting enough traffic, but I'm still writing content which is relevant, but people are not seeing it across. So that is what, no, reading blogs has not become a hobby these days. But actually, yes, you can write in any language. Blogs are available in all the languages. Almost WordPress, whatever is limited to the WordPress, everybody has. You can write it in your own language, not a problem. So this is again, yes. One of the point. So if you ask me, Mukesh, one of the thing of SEO is not about SEO will help you to bring people inside. That is what I will say. Will help you to bring people to your website. But analyzing is analytics. Basically, the analytics is also part of SEO. But the main agenda of search engine optimization is just to bring people to your website. That is the main agenda actually. But one of the agenda, when people start coming in, you can analyze it, what kind of trends they are doing. This is what the idea is. So anybody who are interested in blogs, please do start it. Of course, yes, maybe we can have another session probably on blogging. But as we have discussed about digital marketing, also blogging in one of the type of digital marketing is content marketing, where in content marketing, blogging plays a very vital role. Of course, any website. There is also another statistics which says that any website which has a blog has 4 times traffic more. That is also another hidden statistics in digital marketing. So, having a professional blog, please do continue it, but you should have consistency on. That's what it is. That is what. So this is where in the content you can add, and in the tags you can add. So hope is it clear, Harish?
Yes, Alex.
Okay. Okay. This is again the blogs, because this has its own dashboards and all, but uh, okay, so this is about SEO. This is about SEO basically on how things are working, right? Okay, so everyone is clear. So I think in the first day, no, when we had the first day, I think we were talking about retargeting, right? So I just want to show you that a little recap probably, because we are talking about SEO. Let us discuss about retargeting also, see, even connects with that. I think all of you explained me on the day one actually retargeting means what, but I'm just briefing you for just an understanding. So what is this retargeting? Basically, you have an internet user who visits your sites, but what happens is he's leaving your site, and he leaves your site. Then you put a retargeting ad. Right? Later, as they browse the internet, your ad would display on other sites, right? And your retargeting ad captures the interest, and the internet users then convert to be a loyal customer. This is how a retargeting process works. Basically, if you want to have a clarity on how this process basically works, because retargeting is a very important concept. Because in SEO, no, because as I told you, all people will not be in your site. There are many people who will leave the sites. So what happens if somebody is leaving the site? What is the next strategy that you have is retargeting. If you're finding there are more traffic which is going away from your website, What is the next agenda that you have? You should have retargeting positioned properly. Then only your SEO will go to the next level. So this is how a retargeting works, a basic process. A user who is leaving your site, but he is just browsing the internet, he is seeing a retargeting ad, and then he is coming back again and making a purchase. That is what is retargeting. This is what is the idea behind retargeting. So there are two types of retargeting. Wanted to see. I'm just showing a difference of statistics here. One is static retargeting, and another one is dynamic retargeting. What is static retargeting is a small group of fixed ads are created, right, depending on the page they visit, right? So, for example, whenever you visit, no, there are so many ads when you're visiting in Facebook or when you're visiting in Google. There are some ads which will come repeated for you. It keep on repeats actually. It'll be same. Now, what happens is you must find why this ad is coming, popping up again and again. But that is what is static retargeting, where they're retargeting you on the specific product or a specific customization. Right? So, what is dynamic retargeting is? It's based on the behaviors. For example, yesterday we have seen the different types of customers. For example, somebody who's leaving the cart, somebody who is just checking your products, somebody who's just visiting the home pages. For each and every one of them, there'll be a separate retargeting strategy which is created across. So when you're doing an SEO or when you're actually doing in Google Analytics also, from the Google Analytics also pick a data where you can do a retargeting strategy out of it. So that is what the idea will be. Right? That is what how it works. Right? So this is what how it works. So this is again the connectivity between the SEO and retargeting. A little bit recap from what we have seen so far. You want to connect it basically, right? So this is again the an overall objective of how this works, right? And SEO and all that. Okay, okay. Next, let me show you the YouTube. Basically, I think. Okay, okay. I'll repeat it across. So what a static retargeting is, basically you are giving them a fixed set of ads. For example, I will give you an example that you have people who have visited your product and they've clicked about men's shoes. Men's shoes, they have seen men's shoes, probably in the category of 1,000 rupees. Imagine 1,000 rupees shoes they have browsed, but they left it. Now, what happens is you will have a retargeting ad shown to these people anywhere they go online, showing them make a purchase of this shoe, like 30% off if you make a purchase. You would have seen this frequently on internet also. You would have seen a product, but you just browse the product and it would have come out. But probably for next 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2 hours, maybe you will find a lot of ads coming on shoes on that particular brand. That is retargeting. You might find it weird why this brand is popping up again and again. But this is called static retargeting, which means they'll push you on a certain product line, and for you only, it will come popping up. And finally, what happens is out of 10, at least 3 or 4 people will make the payment or make the purchase. That is how the static retargeting works, actually, which is a fixed product line shown repeatedly over the platforms that you visit. That is static retargeting. You will not get any other ads except the shoes that you've seen. But whereas dynamic targeting shows you different ads. It shows you if you're not, so I guess you were looking for menswear. If you're not looking out for men's shoes, check out the kids shoes. Kids shoes also has 20% off. That is dynamic retargeting, where they'll show you different products line, and still you can pick from that. So that is the difference between static and dynamic. One product line, multiple products line. That's the difference. Yeah. So is it clear now? Okay. Okay. So, okay, next we'll talk about YouTube. So before going into YouTube, how many of you have YouTube channels? Question, how many of you have YouTube channels? Basically, anybody in the group has a YouTube channel, active channel? Okay, so Shakti has. Okay, Payal has. Okay. Okay, so Payal, how many subscribers you have? Uh, had a gaming channel. Like how many subscribers? If you had like, if you have a channel, please put your subscribers also. How many people have? Maybe. Okay, yesterday only. Okay, fine. Okay, I think this digital marketing gave you insight actually. Okay, myself and Arun. Okay, so both of you had. Okay, okay, both of you are friends. Okay, fine. Okay, okay. Only 25 subscribers. I think how many of you around 152? That's a great number. That's a good number. An open question to all of you. Open question to all of you. In a day, how many hours you spend on YouTube? Okay, I think Arun has given a wrong number. Barney has given the right. Okay, 1 hour. Okay, you can be open enough. Maximum in a day, how many hours you spend on YouTube? Okay, what about others? 2 hours. Okay, 3 to 4 hours. Okay, 8 to 9 hours. Okay, that's great. I think Vishal is being very frank. Yes. I think all of you in this group, I think, before you know FB or Instagram and all that, I know all of you in this group would have learned how YouTube creators are making money. Right? I think all of you would have a clarity. I think that is the reason all of you would have started a channel also. But probably you would have missed it because there are a lot of things that is working on that. There's a lot of analytics, a lot of pressure that you have and all that. But I think all of you, many YouTubers these days, I think during this lockdown, I think many YouTube channels have been started. YouTube is like soaring like anything. There's a lot of search. But the worrying part is YouTube is running with artificial intelligence because there are many people not working in Google because Google has not started its operation yet. So YouTube is completely working on AI. So only AI is actually managing. I think half of YouTube is managed by AI, artificial intelligence, but very less staffs are working in. But there are still a human touch. But during this lockdown, there's a lot of things. But the consumption has become very large these days, right? Because YouTube is the only time pass that we have during this quarantine. I think all of you are very inclined about the revenue that is created and all. Now, I'm not going to go in depth on that because revenue generation, as I told you yesterday, also there is no concrete way of generating revenue from YouTube and all. Of course, there are certain criteria actually to make revenues and all. And I will show you a basic dashboard. For example, a channel dashboard, how it looks basically. I will basically tell you that so that you will get more insights. Some of you have already have a channel, but I will just show you that also. Right? So you just have to go to YouTube. Basically, have to go to YouTube. If you just click in the top right corner, your channel will come where you have right, and you have a option called YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio is actually the official dashboard of YouTube channels, basically. Okay. So what you're seeing is YouTube. It's actually a very new channel. I've not been very active in this, right? So don't judge my digital marketing with YouTube channels. Okay, so I have not been very active in this, but here and there I do channels. But I wanted to, but I'm not like very active in this, right? So this is how it looks, right? So this YouTube Studio looks like this. This is the dashboard, which is a very recent dashboard. You also have a Google Analytics as well. So I have a channel, my channel, I have my own channel, and my mother also has one channel actually. So I think these days, no, people have channels. Everybody has a channel. So my mother also has one. So she is a tailor basically, and she puts a lot of tailoring videos actually. Right? But what happens is she has more subscribers than me actually. So So that's a good part actually. She has more subscribers than me because it's a tailoring one. It has succeeded more. So see, she has 36 subscribers and she has more views, right? So I'll show you how this works basically. One of the very good thing why I wanted to show you this basically is, sure, definitely I'll do that. Definitely I'll do that. So basically, we don't have paid channels actually. We just create a channel. The channel gets paid when you are having a monetization, right? I'll show you that what is the condition of monetization. For example, when you open a YouTube channel, this is the dashboard it shows. It shows you how many subscribers you have, how many views you have, like how many watch time you have, and all that. And if you go to video, if you go to analytics, this is the page I wanted to show to you. This is the analytics page. What is the analytics pages? It will show you how many views you have got. What is the watch time basically? Watch time basically is just by seeing it doesn't matter in YouTube. In YouTube, what also matters is views also matters, watch time also matters. Which is when people are seeing your video, how many minutes they are connected with your video. That is also matters actually. Because if you have a 10-minute video, if you have more watch time only, your ads will be very large. You can put 2, 3 ads. Or else what happens is if people close it, if people are not seeing the ads, then you don't get revenue from YouTube. YouTube gives you revenue. YouTube gives you revenue. One of the form how YouTube gives revenue is from advertising. YouTube advertising. How YouTube advertising works is if you have 10 or more minutes as videos, you will have ad slots. So when an ad is being played for 5 seconds, the ad is being played and the viewer is seeing an ad. So you get a revenue. In that revenue, 60% is taken by YouTube and only 40% is given by creators. That's what the idea is. That is what the revenue sharing model that YouTube has basically. Now, if you see here, these are my top videos. This is the average duration that people have, how many views they have basically. And this is the reach. We don't get revenue. And now what happened is previously there were a lot of actually people usually skip ads. But right now, what is the criteria is YouTube, you should see an ad for 5 seconds. That is the criteria that they have. Now to minimum skip an ad, now you should, the skipping itself is coming only after 5 seconds. Now only 10 seconds is the maximum video advertising that is coming in YouTube. So naturally what happens is everybody is actually paid these days. YouTube has gone to a very distant level actually. Now all the Google algorithm is working like that only, right? So you cannot skip your ad like watching more than 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, there are unskippable ads also. You should see the ad for sure. Even if it is irritating also, you have to see. That's how it works like. Because YouTube wants money now. Right? So this is the impressions that I have. These are my searches. Now if you see, my traffic search is mostly coming from search. It's a good thing. Which means I am having a necessary description or my content is somewhere that I'm getting from traffic, which is good. When people search, my content is coming. People are not specifically searching my channel or people not specifically searching my YouTube video, but they're generally searching my content is coming. That's a good one. So you have to work it like that. So this is again the most suggested when people are searching this. I'm getting this more. Right. See here. This is actually the top videos or top search terms that people are using when searching internet. Actually, these are the top. See here. So when you are actually doing a video on these contents, your view might increase. So that is the idea of increasing your view because these are people searching associated with my videos or something connected to because I'm doing tailoring videos. So there are a lot of videos which is suggesting this. There are some videos which is suggesting my video also. But if you see, there are some video which is suggesting other videos also. So I can go and check how they're doing it and then probably I can. That is over. Right? So this is again the traffic on how to understand on when I want to do a video and I want to get a maximum view from it. Then I need to go and analyze this. This will clearly give me what kind of age where people are doing it. Of course, it has to have more traffic, right? My subscription status, subscription source, all this. So see, now this is a very complicated dashboard. It will clearly give you a very lot of insights on how to create a YouTube video. But I'm telling you today, it's a good thing that all of you are trying a YouTube videos. It's good that you share contents or not. It's really good, really a good initiative. But one thing, all of you would have seen in many YouTube channels, it's about the consistency. Nobody has overnight success unless a big celebrity, right? I think how many of you know Venkatesh Bhatt? How many of you have heard this person, Venkatesh Bhatt, the chef Venkatesh Bhatt? I think this Cook with Komali show that you would have seen recently, right? How many of you have heard this person? Yes, I think most of you would have heard this person, right? Now, this person, I think all of you know, he is a very great chef. He has a lot of followers, and he was also doing a program with Vijay TV. Now, this person has come to YouTube, right? Imagine he joined YouTube on May 20th. May 20th, which is like some 16 days before. Do you know what is the subscriber count now? Any idea? Like 15 days before he joined YouTube, he started a channel. Do you know what is the subscriber count? Any guesses? Rough guess maybe. In 15 days, how many? I think all of you have struggled for subscribers. But in 15 days, what do you think is a subscriber? Maybe millions, okay. Okay. A little far, maybe 1,000 plus, maybe because of media. Okay. Yeah. So do you want to know the exact numbers? Okay. I'll show you his channel. Are you able to see the subscribers? Yeah. Yes. Right. 216 for 5 videos. The last 15 days. Right. See the views of his video. For making a coconut chutney, he has got 4,29,000 views. 4 lakh views almost, which is like crazy views. It's not so simple to get 4 lakh views. Right? You see here, this is his watch time. You see the watch time is already 2 million. 2 million views is his watch time. So it happens. I will not say this is by luck and all. He's working with SEO, he's doing digital marketing, nothing like that. It's a very simple con because this guy is already a celebrity and he has a lot of fan followers. And very longly people wanted to actually, and cooking channels in quarantine has gone skyrocketed, right? Everybody is doing cooking these days, right? So this is the reason, but it is not a succeeding strategy. No, this guy has not worked anything. He just puts very simple videos. So there's no strategy actually based on how your YouTube will bring you like that. But one thing what I suggest is for an upcoming creator, it is always all about creating a reliable content and creating a standard for you that this is the type of. And if you have a company channel also, make sure that you are providing the content which is very like which is related to your business, something which people like the most, something which people like it trending and all this. You have to make contents like that. Then definitely, of course, you can reach your heights. And you can do digital marketing for that also and make it also. This is your learning. And when you want to really looking out for a digital marketing career, people will definitely look in your FB page, Instagram page, and YouTube's. They will see how your personal pages and how things are working. Definitely, that is how people will look in. So, as when you're really wanted a career and all that, please ensure that your digital marketing presence is very supreme. That is what the idea is. That is how it works. Right? So, this is basically the Google YouTube, basically on how it works. And yes, about the monetization, if you talk about, if you just go to your dashboard, you have an option called this, monetization. If you just click it, it will show you the eligibility, which means you should have minimum 1,000 subscribers, right? And almost 4,000 watch hours. If you have this only, then only your subscription starts. Of course, it's based on the YouTube algorithm. YouTube will review your application and they will see your channel, they will see your content, they will see your frequency. If there's any copyright problem and all that, then only they will approve you for monetization. Before that, you will not get an approval. So all the channels are non-monetized. There are some channels which has more subscribers also, but not monetized properly. But there are some conditions for that. Yes. Definitely yes. Definitely yes, Swati. Because why digital marketing is helpful for HR people is two things. Basically, in HR, we call a concept called recruitment marketing. Because nowadays we wanted our recruitment to be marketed better. So to do a proper recruitment marketing, we also should work on digital marketing. And the second thing is nowadays HRs are also involved in business creations. They are actually wanted the promotions and all this also coming as a part of HR role because that is what HR business partner role is all about. Which means you are also involved in marketing also. So, so that is where HR has two perspectives. One thing is personally in recruitment also is used. Another thing is also used in the company's digital marketing also. Yes. So monetization, of course, yes. So this is the process basically. You should have minimum 1,000 subscribers and you should have 4,000 watch hours. So once your channel has crossed this over a period of in 12 months, right? In 12 months, right? If you are having this, then your application will go to YouTube and the YouTube will scrutinize your channel. What is the channel all about? What is the videos that they're putting? How many subscribers are there? Is it real subscribers or fake subscribers? There's of course a lot of analysis. Once everything is done, no, you will get a update from YouTube that your channel is eligible for optimization. Then once the eligibility comes, you can start putting ads, maybe in your YouTube and start generating revenue. That is also possible. It's actually a very long process, but it has its own pros and cons. But many people are doing it these days. Many people are getting monetization. Not like very big deal and all to get it. But of course, yes, cooking channels, entertainment channels, education channel is also popular. But you should have a channel which is more popular and the way you're doing videos very important. Your face value really matters. A lot of conditions are there. Of course, maybe we'll have a separate session on this. Maybe on how to create effective YouTube videos. Maybe for if you're interested, we can do that also. I can a little bit talk about the editing and all that. Be a little. Can do that. This is again the YouTube part. And so this is what is about the YouTube channel monetization. So another channel. This kid, right? See this kid. And this kid is almost making close to, I guess, $10 million YouTube every year. He's actually one of the toppest paid YouTubers in the world. He's just like 6-year-old, actually. Right? What is the inspiration for this guy starting a channel is he was playing with toys. So what his father and mother did was they started recording this how he's playing and all that, and he started uploading in YouTube, and people started liking it, and they got like massive views. This guy he's doing video for almost close to 5-6 years. He's like 3 years old. He started his YouTube channel. He's actually toppest paid YouTubers, and right now what he's doing is he's actually the brand ambassador for many toy companies. Many toy companies, he's the brand ambassador. He endorsed that brand in his YouTube. He gets money from them also. He's going to school and his part-time job is YouTube channel. So this guy is when I started searching, again, yeah, maybe. But in our country also we have so many channels which is like great channels actually. We have Baba Veins or something. I'm not very sure. This guy, no? Baba Ki Veins. He's one of the toppest YouTuber in India. Actually. He has almost 17.9 million subscribers. So he's what is does is he is a single man. He does with various characters, humor based channel. But he's one of the toppest paid Indian YouTuber. Actually, a lot of YouTubers actually, like Jamkat. Yes. Jamkat has like very less subscriber actually. They're not like making great revenues, but yes, a lot of Indian. He's a pan India person. So a lot of people are there. A lot of Indian YouTubers also there. There are like yes. So all these are like toppest paid YouTube channels like Paridabangal, Black Sheep. All these a lot of channels which they have. Yes, yes. Right. He's also there. He's one of my favorite comedian also. He has recently done a show and all. Now only he's recently started YouTube. Previously was more of Prime and all that, but I think recently in lockdown he has started posting more videos. So like this, there are a lot of things actually. A lot of people doing digital marketing brand endorsements in YouTube, very high. People are doing a lot of brand endorsements in digital marketing. Yes. So that's how it works actually. Wow. So think of it. There are a lot of money that you can make from this, but you need to spend time on this. Anything you need to spend time, right? So there are a lot of things that you're investing. So you need here also. If you're spending in time, definitely you have a lot of potential on it. The digital marketing can also earn you money actually. That is also viable part-time business. You can do it as a complete business also. But you just have to spend time. You just have to do some certifications and all that. You can learn all that, right? And one good thing about that now, Facebook has their own academy. Google has their own academy. They will teach you how to put ads. Of course, yes. A more explanatory format, but you just have to spend time, and it's all is free. Everything is free because they wanted to make money from the ads only, not from the training that they're giving. So you can do that, but of course there are some practical aspects missing on that. But you can just check it how this works and all that. But you can learn that also. But there are certain practical aspects missing. I have also done it, but it'll be a little vague actually. That's not how. This is actually give an intro actually. Okay. Okay, so we are done almost. Any so far any clarifications? We have almost winded up our session.
Alex, can you throw some light on no CPM, CPC?
Okay. Let me. So you're talking about the cost per click and all that.
Yeah, right. Cost per click, cost per 1,000 impressions.
Just a minute, I'll show you that. Actually, cost per click is what we have been using it when we were using it for the Google AdWords, right? When you start asking me like how Google AdWords makes revenue, so it is actually cost per click. Cost per click is every time a person is clicking my ad, when a person is clicking my ad, so that click will cost me actually. That click only will cost me, not by seeing that. That is what is cost per click. What is cost per click is when when a customer clicks my particular ad, then I have a calculation based on that. That is again the idea. And of course, it is not only that, it also based on the bid that you're having. There are two parameters for cost per click. One parameter is the impression that you're getting, which is the customer impression that you're getting. Customer click in correlation with.
I think you are not shared your screen.
Yes, actually, I'm just this concept I don't have. Maybe if you
Okay.
want to show.
No,
maybe
I thought you were showing some screen.
Okay, fine. I have a. I have. This is actually here. Just to give you a diagram, actually, but this is a little complicated. But the simple language, if you see, it is actually based on the bid that you have. It's based on your ad quality score. As I told you, you have an ad rank because all the ads will not come in the top. The ad has its own ranking. If the ad has more rank, and if you have the maximum budgets, then your cost per click will increase. Actually, right? Because there are so many people who click your ads. If you have a less ad rank and if you have a less budgets, your cost per click will be low only because people don't click it. That's how it. It's a metric which will tell you that uh, how much your ad was effective and what is the budget based on. That's how it works. That is the cost per click model.
Alex,
Yes.
if I
Yes.
have a Facebook page and I wanted to boost a post in the Facebook page, I want to promote that post.
Okay.
So there what comes to play, whether it is cost per impression or cost per click. It's like no customers, they will be just be seeing the which I am posting.
Okay.
So
When
will
you're
it
actually okay, you're talking about boosting a post,
posting a
not
post?
the page, the
Yeah,
post.
right.
Okay. So when you talk about the post, what happens is post doesn't work with clicks actually. What post, when you're boosting a post, what happens is you have a budget. For example, say you have a budget of some 300 to 400. Now, what happens is when you are boosting a post, it just takes your research. It just talks about the reach only. It just massively goes to everyone. It's like a public ad actually. So that doesn't work with cost per clicks or it doesn't work like that. But that is actually an open advertisement. To show you that how it works. I'll show you a post. For example, here I have a posting here. Imagine I want to boost this post. So here I have boost. You have two options: get more people to react and comment, or connect and chat with potential customers. This again works like that, and then you have to see how many people are working it across. So what happens is till this budget is exhausted, it also works with CPC. If you want, you can do that also. Or if you want, you can do is you can do a promotion also. It's up to you to decide actually. You have a complete control over it. The ad will come popping up, it will just show you in desktop feeds or mobile feeds and all that. And when a person clicks it, as per the reach, after like 400 rupees, the ad stops running. This is based on the budget limit only. Because I don't want more than 80 rupees per day. then I can stop with that 80 rupees. More than 80 rupees, I don't want it, then that's how it stops running. That is how it works actually. So based on the budget, but it's based on how you want it. You just wanted people to interact, or you just want people to see it. If you want people to interact, then it becomes like a CPC model, where it becomes a cost per click model actually. That's how it works. That's how the posting of Boost works. But if you want to entirely promote your page itself, then that is completely a cost per click model only. Because anyway, people have to like the page. There is an interaction. That is how it works. It can be decided by you. The budget can be customized by you.
Alex, if I want people to like my page, then that ad will appear on the right side, right, of the FB page.
Yes, yes. You can actually decide it on. Actually, it can run on multiple things. For example, yesterday we talked about the placements. You can take the placements actually. You wanted to place it anywhere, you have the control over it. Because anyway, you are the admin of it. Even if you want to like a page also, you can put the placements. For example, if you want it in the Facebook, or if you want it in Instagram stories or Facebook stories, placements you have a control. Any ad that you're putting, any advertisements in Facebook, you have the control of placements. Because in Google, only placements is not controlled. But in Facebook, placement is completely controlled by you. You can decide on the placement where you want your ad to appear. That is highly possible. Most of the time, what happens is when you're scrolling, it will come in, it'll look like a post only most of the time. But if you're using a mobile, if you're using Instagram also, it can be promoted in that as well. Not a problem. The Facebook placement is controlled by you only, not by Facebook actually. Okay, I have a question. Can anybody see analytics pay for it? Vishal has asked me a question. So you're asking whether Google Analytics is free, or you need to pay for it. Is that the question, Vishal? Vishal has a question. He just asked me whether Google Analytics. Okay, Google Analytics is a free tool, Vishal. You don't need to pay for it. It's a free tool. You just have to have a Google account. You can add a number of pages. It's actually a free one. Many things are free in Google because Google, they have worked like that and they're making revenue from it. I'm not worried about all this. They are free only. Google Analytics is free. There is no paid for it. Okay, so blogs and YouTube channel, of course, yes. Maybe we'll have a separate session on that, because that's a different topic altogether. Because that is related to digital marketing, but it has its own pros and cons. Anyway, we will have. If all of you are really interested, we can do a separate session on that. We will work on. I think making money from it needs a solid investment of time. So, any digital marketing for that matter, minimum 6 months of effort will reap your maximum results. In a right way, I'm saying, not going by shortcuts. If you're going by right way, definitely it takes you time. 100%. Any other questions? What about others? Yeah.
Alex, see, I work for a company, as a corporate communication professional, and
Okay.
if I wanted to do some certification that will help me see a better opportunity in my own corporate communication department, what certification I be doing?
Okay. In which stream? I'm not able to get you.
No, what kind of digital marketing certification should I do so that I can see a better opportunity in my own corporate communication?
Okay.
That same profession.
Okay, fine, fine. Maybe what you can do is there are two, three suggestions actually. One thing to understanding is I think we also talked about Google certification. I have done it personally. I have done my Google certification personally on digital marketing. I'll show you that certification, how it feels and all that. It's a good one. It's a good one. But the problem is it will not show you all this. It's a very tiring certification also, but it's good. You get a. It's called Google Digital Unlock. This is the digital marketing certification from Google, which I think most of you in the group also started interacting. So this certification will actually give you an overview on how this digital marketing really works. Like what kind of it'll talk about everything, but not very practically. It will show you all how it works and all that. You can do this also. One thing, to get a Google-based certification, you can do that. Apart from that, you can probably make a choice of which kind of in digital marketing, what is the specific area that you're looking out for. For example, affiliate marketing, or maybe you're looking out for SEOs or Facebooks or website optimizations or mobile optimizations. So like that, you have different streams. So which domain you have to pick first, and based on the domain, you have other Google certifications also, and other people are also offering certification. There are many institutes who are offering digital marketing certification. You can go for that also. That's not a problem. But for me, certification is definitely is it's a value added thing. But it's more value added in digital marketing is your digital marketing presence that you have. It's about how you are adopting certain digital marketing strategies and all that. Then that is what the company really wants also to really know. So they will just like it. You have a Google certification that will be give you a face value, but more importantly in digital marketing is implementation. It means like, did you work for any small clients? Like how many pages that you have managed in your entire career? How many Instagram accounts that you have managed? How many Google My Business you are running? So what is the digital campaigns you have run so far? This is what matters more for the company. If you're doing this, then I think the company will select you. But that is more practical. Right? So that is something. Or if you want, you can give a try for this also. Maybe you might get a certification, but it's a little tough actually. You cannot clear it just like that. But
Certification is online or how it is?
it is online. It's online, Harish. It's fully online. It is a self-paced model. It's a recorded session. It doesn't have live trainers. It's a recorded session. So it's a 40-hour session, I guess. 40-hour training. After 40 hours of finishing, you have an assessment. So once you've done the assessment, it's like 100 questions or something. You have to get 80% out of that. So if you're getting 80%, you will get a certification from Google, which is valid for 3 years. After 3 years, you have to do a recertification. That is this module actually, which I have done. But 80% is too much. Out of 180 is 80%, you have to get it right. Only 20% can be wrong. No negative markings, but still a far bleed. But you can still work on it. Not a problem. You can do that also. This is one of the standard certifications I have seen personally. Anything else? Any other questions?
Can you just do a recap of the 4 sessions?
Okay, sure. So we have seen a lot of things actually.
Yes.
We have, I think, we have pushed in across a lot of topics. Maybe I think I will not say maybe. I think all of you made me to share a lot of topics which we have seen. So, but overall, what we have seen so far, like what we have seen so far is we have seen the basics of digital marketing, the different types, basically on what are the digital marketing we have seen so far, what are the different types we have seen. We talked about the personalizations, and one very important thing we discussed about the online and offline marketing. What are the different types and kinds of online and and we've seen that also. And then we also talked about the career in digital marketing. I think now this career connectivity you will be able to understand why I told you about the career in digital marketing. We have a lot of career scope in this. Well, so this is something which I have showed you on that. And then we started a little bit intro on what is digital marketing all about. We majorly talked about the types of digital marketing, all the digital marketing types which is available. And we also talked about what are the different platforms of social media is used and what is the real meaning of it. Basically, we have seen that also. And then after this was the first day session, I think we had this. And the second day, what we went was we directly went to the Facebook Business Manager. It's Facebook Business Manager where we have shown you on how to create basically advertisements, how to create ad campaigns. I was discussing that fully. I talked about the audience creations. We talked about the postings, right? And I also dealt about the Facebook Creator Studio for that, which is an auto scheduler for Facebook and Instagram. So we largely saw the Facebook and Instagram branding on how the ads are being placed and how the campaign budgets needs to be understood. And we also little bit discussed on what are the different types of customers basically which is being used and what is the right time. Maybe all of you remember this. What is the right time we can put a Facebook post position ourselves? I think this was the second day we had this brief. And third day, I think yesterday we had discussed about Google AdWords, right? We went to Google My Business. I told you about Google My Business, how this works. I think if you remember this, Google My Business is here. Right? You have to go here and Google My Business, where it talked about all the essential how to manage my company in Google. What are all the insights I can see? What are the basic searches that people do and which searches are landing in my company page, right? And then we talked about how to create an ad in Google. Just like in Facebook, we started discussing about how to create an advertisement in Google also, how to fix the budgets, a little bit of ranking and all that. I think yesterday we briefed on that. We saw a lot of discussion. And then we opened up on blogs and what are other things. So today I think we have talked about SEO. This is the major point that we have talked about today is talked about SEO, search engine optimization, and what are all the essential points in search engine optimization which has to be done. And then we little bit talked about retargeting, how retargeting works. Right? So what is the idea behind it? As I told you, retargeting is for people for these type of customers. When you have customers like this, there is a retargeting approach which has to be used to understand how these things are working. Right? And finally, we talked about YouTube channel. We started about the dashboard, how to create videos and all, and a little bit of blogs also. So I think this is the overall recap as far as I know, maybe, which is I think what we have dealt. Major categories, of course, but there are certain hidden agendas also which we have seen yesterday, but a lot of other minute things also we have seen. Right? So this is a recap probably, and yes, I guess.
Yeah, you covered everything.
Yes, I think yes. Thank you. Okay, definitely yes. What we're going to do is we are uploading this in our YouTube channel basically, all the 4-day sessions, all these 4 days. So right from the day one till date, you will be having all the recordings in our YouTube channel. So maybe just give us a day or time, maybe because the videos are very long. It's like 1.5 hours videos. It is little taking time for us to process. Definitely max by today or tomorrow you will get it. You will get the channel. In the channel, you can have all these videos. You will have a digital webinar playlist itself, specifically created, which discusses from the day one till last date. I will put it on the topics and all that. You can have a view of it. Do subscribe to our channel also and share it also. And then what happens is Tuesday you will have an assessment. Okay, so Tuesday because all our webinars is based on the assessment only, because it is not a participation certification. It is actually a certification after assessment. You will have an assessment for it, which is on Tuesday, because I'm giving you tomorrow a daytime so that you can recap a little bit on what we have seen and all that. So Tuesday you will have an assessment which will be posted in the form of Google Forms, right? It's an online assessment, multiple choice. So you have to clear it across. So there is a minimum criteria for that and all, which I will share you on Tuesday, the WhatsApp groups.
Then before that, you need to upload the video because we need to
Definitely.
we need to study and attend the test.
Sure. Definitely. Max, tomorrow you'll get it. Because already one video is uploaded. I think one video already you have
So
got
just for joke, I'm
fine, not a problem. I just getting it. But definitely you will have all that. But Tuesday, but don't leave the WhatsApp group, because your link will come in the WhatsApp group only. And you will have all the instructions related to the assessment. It's a multiple choice assessment. And the time limit will be 1 day. This is like on Wednesday, like 10 o'clock, the admission assessment closes. Before that, you have to do an assessment. That's the criteria for it. And once you've done the assessment, you will get an e-certification from us, which will be processed another 2 or 3 days. So maximum by Thursday or Friday, your process will be completely over, because we are having multiple webinars being conducted. That is the delay. But within maximum by Friday, you will receive your certificate. So that's a deadline you have. The Tuesday is assessment. We will take a 1 or 2 day time for assessing it across, and probably by Friday you will get all that. So make sure your mail ID or mobile number is all accurate, because your e-certification will be mailed to that one. So e-certification is only for people who have completed the assessment. Making it clear, who have completed the assessment and with a minimum pass percentage. That's the criteria, because this is a paid program, and we do have given you a lot of insights. And I think all of you are really very connected also. Been a very good audience also, and I think all of you will clear in this group. But I'm just telling you, there is a clear, because there are so many people who didn't participate also. There are some people who didn't come for the webinar, so maybe they can also just clear it by looking Google and all that. So I wanted to have people who are really eligible and really had spent time on a Sunday and all that. Definitely, I'll share you that. Definitely, I'll share you all the clear pass percentage. So can we keep it 80%? Or
it's your call.
okay, fine. It's fine. Okay. Anyways, guys, right? So I'll not keep it too high. I'll keep it something which is minimum, because I want all of you to get that across. So we will share you all that. So all the details will be clearly there in the assessment. It is just a Google form. You just need to log in that and just do it. It's not like very big deal. So, but it'll be posted only in the WhatsApp group, and the future sessions, like any other sessions like this or any future sessions, will definitely be a part of the WhatsApp groups that you're based on. Okay? Maybe we have just started. As I told you, we've just started. There are a lot of sessions which we have planned across, and of course, all of you participants have been really good for, really involved. Actually, motivate us to bring more sessions. That's what it is. Because I was little doubtful today's last session, that was Sunday. I was little maybe thinking of it, maybe how it was. But I got 100% happy for it. So how many attempts? One. Only one. So you don't have multiple attempts, but only one attempt. So before you give submit button, pray all the gods and give submit. Have multiple attempts, because the day is limited. We just have 1 day, and we don't want to avoid duplicate. Because why I'm saying only one attempt is, after you make an attempt, you get the answers immediately. So second attempt you can clear it. You can get more marks also. That is the idea behind it. So that is what we are restricting it to one attempt. Because second attempt is not necessary, because you know the answers by that. Yeah, I'll understand. Yes, of course. Everything is a Sunday. So people calendars have become like all days are Sundays. We understand that also. But slowly, I think we are moving on. Now the world is waking up. So we're moving on to a different era. So we are actually now I think we are coming back slowly. I think all of us started on it. Thank you for everyone for all this session.
So I want to thank Alex for the entire 4-day session. It's a great session actually. New learnings actually.
Thank you. Thank you, Shakti, for your review also. You have left a review for us also. Thank you.
Yes. And what is your plans in other webinars?
We do have, we might have, tomorrow we're starting with payroll. We have another stream which we are starting with. And we're also coming with G Suite webinar very soon.
Okay.
Which is like Google Sheets, slides, and it's an online.
I was about to ask you. I saw all your presentation in docs at google.com.
Correct. Yes. So we use Google Slides basically. You would have seen not PPTs in Google Slides. I would have used Google Slides. So there is a webinar which is coming across very soon. Very soon it's coming across. So we have a G Suite webinar which is being presented. So if anybody is really interested, you can connect with that also. Because personally, I am also a G Suite trainer.
Oh, great!
I am been doing it for the last couple of years. I've done 4 or 5 certifications. One of my favorite is Google G Suite. I've been doing. So I have my company, as I am also a HR professional, I have managed my company's HRMS in G Suite. I have created leave applications in G Suite without having a free one. So all that. So a lot of things are there in G Suite also. In upcoming, these are 2 sessions we have planned as of now, the payroll and G Suite. And of course, we might come up with another advanced version of digital marketing by the welcome that we got from this. We might go for another advanced session. So as of now, these are 3 things we have planned as of now. But maybe there are a lot of other sessions also coming way forward. So please stay connected.
Sure.
Groups and in our pages and pages and all that. So please stay connected. Definitely, all of you have a lot of learnings from this.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
there are some questions. Thank you, Shakti, for it. I think all of you really enjoyed this 4 days, I guess. Thank you all for attending this session. It's been great all these 4 days. I think, and you have given me a little bit motivation also.